Good morning. Today's message will come from the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel. I want to encourage you to read chapter 3, the complete chapter, or chapter 3, to understand and fulfill God's message today. But I'll be using a few of these verses, beginning at verse 12 through 25. There are certain Jews who now have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee, nor they serve not thy God, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. And Nebuchadnezzar spoke to him and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do not serve my God, nor the worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, sackcloth, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship an image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Verse 17, if it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known, O king, that we will not serve thy God, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should be cast, that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was to be heated, 7 times more hotter than it was to be heated. Verse 21, then these men was bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and other garments, and was cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Verse 24, then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished, and rose up early in the morning, and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. And then Nebuchadnezzar answered them, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. This morning I want to use for a subject and speak to you a little while about coming out my fiery furnace. Coming out my fiery furnace. When reading God's word, this here was that the Hebrew boys that had went through the fiery furnace. We have to believe and know that we too have gone through some fiery furnace. Somebody today may be in a fiery furnace. But today God has a message for you today about how to come out of your fiery furnace. If it's one thing we all have been sharing this week, it is some hot weather. It's been very hot. And you go around and you go from store to store, get gas, and people quickly strike up a conversation about how hot it is. It certainly has been some hot days, but we have to believe that it's summertime. The Bible says to everything there is a season, so we should expect it to be hot. Someone said that it's so hot I don't even feel like coming out the house. For surely we have had some hot days. But keep in mind there's more hot days to come. In spite of all the temperature and all of the hot days, church, we are still blessed to be here. And of all the things we talk about how hot it is, with God's grace is sufficient. God is able to provide. God is able to take care of, and we should be just blessed and thankful to be in the land of the living, regardless of how hot it may be. in spite of. Thank God that we're still here. I was telling Sister Caldwell a few days ago, as well as some others, it appeared that with the hot days up on us, it would make one think about getting more closer to God. Talk about how hot it is, and we talk about the days to come, and they're expecting this temperature, and we think about those hot days, and when we think about it, would seem like it would make us as individual think about getting closer to God, understanding that the place that one must face for not living a life pleasing to God is much hotter than this, much hotter than 7 times. So as we look out today, it appears that we'll be faced with some more hot days, but let's be thankful again to be in the land of the living. So let me get back on our message today about coming out of our fiery furnace. Coming out of our fiery furnace. Church, I asked the question today, how many of you have been through the fiery furnace? Do you know that you've been through the fiery furnace? I know for myself, we've gone through some things in life. My years of being here on earth, we've gone through some things. And some of those things I've learned and I recognize and know that they were fiery furnace. Have you been through the fiery furnace? Next question I leave with you today. Are you still in the fiery furnace? Are you still in the fiery furnace? As we read the book of Daniel, we find out a lot about the 3 Hebrew boys. We find out a lot about them being in the fiery furnace. But by the same token, we're able to learn more when we have been through those furnaces ourselves. We've been through some fiery things in our life. We learn more when we're able to go through them ourselves. It's easy. I've always said it's easy to share or talk about what somebody else told you about what they've been through. Well, somebody told us the other day they went through this. Somebody said that this happened in their town. I heard about this. It's easy to talk about what somebody else have encountered. But how about your own fiery furnace? What about what you have went through? If you haven't been through something, perhaps you haven't taken time to notice, I want to encourage you to just keep on living, because the time will come that you will realize and understand that you are in a fiery furnace. The time will come that you will need Jesus in your life. There are many today that feel that the fiery furnace was a one-time thing. It was just for those Hebrew boys. But I can assure you today, there are many that have gone through, going through, and are still in a fiery furnace right now today. I can assure you that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are not the only ones that have gone through. I go a step farther to tell you that the world is full of trouble. The Bible said, man born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. There's a lot going on in the world. Whether you believe this, believe that, believe in this one, believe in this one, trust this one, trust that one. There's a lot going on in the world today. A lot of sorrows, hardships, difficulties. And the reason being because so many have allowed Satan to lead them to the fiery furnace. And not only lead them to the fiery furnace, but they in there and don't know how to come out of their fiery furnace. Have to understand that's Satan's job. He will lead you to it, but not able to bring you through it. He will lead you to it, then leave it up to you to come out of it. As we read our text today, we find that 3 Hebrew boys that knew how to come out of the fiery furnace. They had one thing in mind, and we too should have that same mindset. Regardless what or who they was facing, the result would be that they would keep their faith in God. Church, if you come to a point in your life that regardless what you go through, who you're facing, how many, how long, no matter what it is, I'm going to keep my trust in God. Hebrew boys was at that point. And when they kept their trust in God, that means that they wasn't going to give up, that they were going to keep trusting and believing in God. Church, the things that we go through, encounter, difficult, some things are good, bad, shocking, surprising. When we go through those things, do you keep your faith in God? Do you give up? Do you keep trusting God? As we read our text today, we find that these boys, that they knew how to come out of the fiery furnace. I don't know who, but somebody today is going through. Somebody today is in a difficult situation. Somebody today is in a fiery furnace. Somebody is trying to come up out of a fiery situation. Somebody is dealing with a fiery person. Somebody is dealing with a fiery circumstance. Somebody is dealing with just fiery situations going on in their life. I pray prayerfully that through our message today, just as God gave the Hebrew boys their way out of the fiery furnace, he is likewise ready to deliver you out of your fiery furnace. You have to understand there's nothing too hard for God. We just have to take the time to give it to God. Trust God, believe God, allow God. Don't get in the way of God. When you're willing to keep the faith in the furnace, God will work things out. Today we find these Hebrew boys in a difficult situation because they wasn't willing to follow and serve a strange God. They wasn't just facing a circumstance, they was talking to a king. A difficult situation, but they wasn't willing to follow a strange God. I say too many times people have allowed anything and everything to separate them from God, to get in the way, running with the majority, believing in the majority, trusting in the majority. They wasn't willing to fall and serve a strange God. What a picture of today. I see so many that get discouraged or lose faith in their going through and stop serving God. See, so many today that encounter, things happen. They go through a few things and they get discouraged, lose faith, and they stop serving God. Now, I want you to understand, I didn't say that they get discouraged and go through things and stop going to church, because it's a difference between serving God and going to church. I said they get discouraged, lose faith in their going through, and they stop serving God. Look at God's children today. So many are scattered abroad, to and fro, not knowing what they believe in because they have accepted to worship other things, which are become their God. The word says whatever we put in place of God before God become their God. They have gave up. They have given up. But I pray and trust that you learn today that through the Hebrew boys, they didn't give up. They kept moving even when the fire got hot. They kept moving in the midst of the heat. Even now, in the midst of facing new things, these three Hebrew boys wasn't willing to sell out. Another problem we see today. They wasn't willing to sell out. So many of God's people have sold out. What are you talking about, sold out? They have they have started accepting anything and everything that Satan throw their way. Accepting anything and everything that Satan put before them. Sold out on God. Turned their backs on God. Forgot about God. Not realizing that Satan's way is always down. Bring you down. Keep you down. Hold you down. Chain you down. But we serve a God that is still willing to come down to lift us up. The songwriter states, even if you have to come way down, Jesus will come way down to lift us up. Satan has deceived many of God's children by telling them that you're too far gone. Have deceived many parents in saying that he or she is too far gone. Many spouses in believing that he or she is too far gone. There is no help for them. Today, church, I want to point out some things that God has given us to look at concerning our fiery furnace. Somebody today is in a fiery furnace. Somebody's been in there so long, they don't even know they're in a fiery furnace. One may be facing you this afternoon, tomorrow. As children of God, there are so many that feel that because they are children of God, they shouldn't have to go through things. So many believe because they go into church and that Bible studies and they're when the church door open that they are exempt. I say this all the time, but not so. We must know as children of God, we will go through some fiery furnaces. Maybe in our home, maybe on our jobs, maybe in our families, maybe in the world, maybe in the church. No matter where we go, we are subject to face some fiery furnace. May even be within ourselves. A lot of times we have a fire brewing within ourselves, not knowing which way to go, which way to think, who to believe, who to trust. That's a fiery furnace. But be assured, one way or another, you will go through some furnaces in your life. But note this here, not just the fiery furnace, but you will go through some fiery furnaces in your life, meaning many. Meaning many. Church, I stopped by today. If we just had to deal with one fiery furnace event, if we only had to handle one, we may be all right. Things may work out. But keep in mind, many fiery furnaces, one thing after the next. But no matter how many we go through, God has the purpose and plan to bring us out of our fiery furnaces. Let me say that again. Regardless of how many we go through, God has the purpose and plan to bring us out of our fiery furnaces. This morning I want to share with you 1 Peter 4 and 12. 1 Peter 4 and 12 tells us that just because you are a Christian, Christian means just because you belong to God, you shall expect to go through some fiery furnaces just for accepting Christ. That's a good thing. Yeah, I'm going through something right now, but I'm okay with it because I know that I'm going through it because I'm following Christ. I know that I'm going through it because I'm accepting Christ. I know these trials and tribulations, these fiery things I'm going through is because I'm trying to do right by Christ. The adversary isn't going to lift you up because you accepted Christ. The adversary is not going to brag on you because you accepted Christ. The adversary is not going to try to allow good things to happen in your life because you have accepted Christ. But the Bible teaches us, and we have learned that he does the opposite. Punishes us, set trials before us, tribulation, try us because we have accepted Christ. Many lose their blessings because they try to figure out why a person is doing them wrong. And then trying to figure out what a person is doing wrong, why they're treating them wrong, guess what happens? You lean into your own understanding. And when you lean into your own understanding, guess what? The adversary helps you out. He'll come in and get in your mind. Well, you know what? Since they're treating you bad, you need to treat them bad. Because they haven't called you, you don't need to call them. Because they haven't texted you, you don't need to text them. Because they don't check on you, you don't need to check on them. Not realizing it's not the person. But God said that you're being persecuted for righteousness' sake. Please know you'll be faced with some fiery furnaces just because you belong to God. That's a good thing. God doesn't that send a sigh of relief to you that it's not what you have done, it's not what you have said, it's not who you have talked about, how you have treated people. Fiery furnaces are going to come your way just because you belong to God. 1 Peter 4 and 12, the word of God states, think it not strange. Think it not strange concerning these fiery trials which are to try you. They are to try you because you are God's child. Our fiery trials are times through the fiery furnace will prove what kind of Christian we really are. Going through the fire, going through the furnace will prove what kind of Christian we really are. Our furnaces we face will test our faith in God. No matter how long we say we had it, matter how many years we say we've been in the church, regardless what good things people say about you, no matter what people say, always smiling. He's such a good person. She's such a good person. Our furnaces will always test our faith in God. Never doubting, but believing that if God allows you to get to it, he will bring you through it. Yes, he will. God will do that. It certainly proved his faith in the faith in the three Hebrew boys, and it will certainly prove your faith today. The three boys could have done like so many in the world today. They could have turned their back on God. They could have worshipped those false gods. They could have served Nebuchadnezzar's image. They could have served that false image. Could have went along with the majority. But their faith in God and their unity allowed them to come out of their fiery furnace. They could have done a lot of things. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Could have done those things. Could have believed in Nebuchadnezzar. That's the king. Could have worshipped him. Could have bowed down. Could have accepted that false image. But their faith in God and their unity, their togetherness, allowed them to come up out of their fiery furnace. I want us to see that through our fiery furnace, you are never alone. See, a lot of times the adversary wants you to think that when bad things happen or you get through trials and tribulation or storms come in your life or tribulation, the adversary wants you to think you got there by yourself. Want you to think, as I said earlier, want you to think and believe that you've done something wrong. Want you to abuse yourself, put the pressure on yourself. You have to understand that through our fiery furnace, we are never alone. God knows about our struggles. He knows about our trials. He knows about our tribulation. Even though we call him up and we pray to him, we tell him about it, he knows all about our temptation. He knows that when Satan catches us without God on our mind, he will try to deceive us at our weakest moments. He will try to test us at our weakest moments. But God is telling us today, even in our weakest moments, we need to know that we are never alone. Even through our fiery furnace, we are never alone. God said in his word, you hear me say it all the time in this scripture, I will never leave you nor forsake you. He may not keep us out of the fiery furnace, but we can be assured that he will go there with us. You can rest assured that everything is going to be all right as long as God is going there with you. He will bring us out of every situation, every fiery furnace, every circumstance, every trial, every storm that we go through. He will bring us through. God is counting on you as you go through these things. Count on me, count on us to keep the faith, to be as bold as lions, and keep your faith on fire for the Lord, and God will do the rest. Isn't that good news? He's counting on us, you and me, to keep the faith. Be bold as lions and keep your faith on fire. Keep it on fire for the Lord, and God will do the rest. Note that there is no furnace too hot for Jesus. There is no furnace that Jesus won't come to. There is no furnace that Jesus won't walk through. And not only walk through it, but he'll walk through it with you. If we don't leave Jesus or forget about Jesus through our furnaces, we will be able to come out, because Jesus said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Where I am, there you will be also. That means if you there, I'm there with you. If I have to come way down, if it's on the mountaintop, if I have to go around the way, I will come to meet you at your point of need. Where I am, there you may be also, including the fiery furnaces of life. Oh, what a mighty good God we serve. Verse 25 of our text tells us, even though King got to see the great things the Lord had done, when he looked into the fiery furnace, which was 7 times hotter. Remember, he told him, I want you to heat it up 7 times hotter. The Bible says he couldn't sleep. He got up astonished and haste, got up just ready to go and look into that fiery furnace. The Bible tells us that he got the shock of his life. Won't God do it? He'll give you the shock of your life. When he went to look in there, he got the shock of his life. He got to see something he wasn't expecting. Won't God give you things that you wasn't expecting? I often say God will give you things that you didn't apply for, positions that you didn't fill out an application for, give you things that you didn't even know was coming your way. The king got to see something that he wasn't expecting to see. The Bible says he went looking for 3 men. But he saw four men instead of the 3. And the good news was that the 4th one looked like the Son of God. Not only looked like the Son of God, but was Jesus Christ himself. Christ had walked with them just as he promised. He said, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. I'm not going to allow you to go through the hard times. I'm not going to allow you to go through the trials. I'm not going to allow you to go through the fire, go through the storms, or go through the furnace. I'm going to be there just as he promised. He never left them nor forsook them. And that same promise is still available to you and me today because they trusted their faith more than their fears. Because they kept their faith strong in God, they was able to come out of their fiery furnace. Keeping our faith in God will surely pay off. Going through the fiery furnace with God will surely pay off. Not by yourself, but going through it with God will surely pay off. In our text today, the Hebrew boys came out better after going through the fire furnace than before. The king even came out better after the fire furnace than before. The Bible says he rose up early that morning, couldn't sleep, tossing and turning. I can only imagine. Sometimes, it's difficult to sleep when things aren't going right. It's difficult to sleep when you're not feeling well. It's difficult to sleep when you got so many things going on into your life. Difficult to sleep when you don't know what the adversary or feel the changes is coming and that you're going through. But the Bible said the king rose early and came to the mount of the fiery furnace. And after he looked in there, he asked the question, didn't we put 3 in there? But I see 4. And not only do I see 4, they're loose. They're no longer bound. And as I close today, I want you to pay close attention to these last words. He said, not only they're loose, their chains have been taken off. And then the Bible says that they're walking, not running. In the midst of the fire, 7 times hotter, you wouldn't expect them to be walking. They expect them to be running around because the heat was so hot. The Bible also says that they are not shouting, they're not crying, they're not complaining, they're not murmuring. They should be. The heat was hot. The fire was hot. 7 times. Not only do I not see them bound, but they are not running. They are not shouting. They are not crying. They are not murmuring. They are not even complaining. But they are down there doing what God said he would do. They down there walking with Jesus. Think about it. They down there walking in the fiery furnace with Jesus. With Jesus, the songwriters say, just to walk with Jesus will make it all right. Talking about walking, the steps of a good man ordered by the Lord. This is what helped them become better off through the fiery furnace. They got a chance to walk with Jesus. They got a chance to put their faith in Jesus. They got a chance to keep their trust in Jesus. The fire that the king thought would consume them actually was the same fire that Christ used to set them free. You're going through something right now. Don't consider it a bad thing because God can turn it into good. Difficult person, God can turn them into a preacher, into a deacon, into a choir member. God can turn that bad into good. The same fire that Christ used to set them free. That's why I can truly say, just a closer walk with thee will make everything all right. Today I want to encourage you to keep your faith on fire. Keep your faith on fire. Yeah, I got faith in God, but don't just have faith in God. Keep it on fire. Keep that faith on fire. And how the faith of Job. What are you talking about on fire, Pastor? The faith of Job. We didn't read about Job, but Job had that strong faith. He said, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. That's that faith that was on fire. The Hebrew boys, they kept that faith that was on fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said unto the king, if this be so, if you choose to throw us into the fiery furnace, even if you decide to heat it up 7 times hotter, if this be so, just in case you want to do this, if you decide to go ahead and do this, if this be so, our God whom we serve is able, he's able to deliver us from the burning furnace. Our God is able to do all things except fail, even deliver us from the burning furnace. He will deliver us out of the hand of you, O King. And didn't God do it? He didn't send nobody to do his job. He didn't send nobody down there to help him get out of the furnace. And the reason he didn't do that, because there's no substitute for Jesus. Nobody but Jesus. Nobody can do us like Jesus. Nobody can do us like the Lord. There is no substitute. The same he will do for you. The same he will do for me if we will keep our faith on fire. If this be so, the God we serve is able to deliver us. You decide to do that. Let me tell you what my God can do. Let me tell you what our God can do. He will deliver us. Although the fire was 7 times hotter, you couldn't even tell they had been through the fire. What a mighty good God we serve. Even though the fire was 7 times hotter, you couldn't even tell they had been through the fire. The Bible say the hair was not burned. Their clothes was not burned. And also, they didn't even smell like smoke. Didn't even smell like fire. What a mighty good God we serve. Won't God do it? Yes, he will. Not only survived the fire, but came out not even smelling like smoke. Today, I want you to be encouraged and lifted today, knowing that no matter where you're at in your point of life, you need to know that God is ready to come and lift you up out of your fiery furnace. God is ready to come and lift you up out of your fiery situation. God is ready to lift you up out of that fiery circumstance, whatever it may be. God is ready. But you have to make sure that your faith is on fire. Though he slay me, where he leads me, I'll follow him. If he speak, I'm willing to listen. He that had an ear, let him hear. If it be so, if you're going to do me like that, if you want to heat it up that hot, if you're going to do God's children like that, if you're going to do us like this, I will tell you this. The God that we serve is able to deliver us. God is able to set us free. And this our God will do. I pray and trust you got a thought out of God's message today. I pray and trust that something has been said that will help you along this Christian journey. Help you become a better person. Help you know that you're able to come out. And not only this word that you are hiding in your heart, but I pray that you will share this message with someone else, because it's always saying a blessing isn't a blessing until you share it with someone else. Somebody needs to know that you can come out of your fiery furnace. Though he slay me, you need to keep trusting him. Keep your faith on fire. And say, even if they throw you in that fiery furnace, the God that we serve, guess what? He is able. He is able. Not only is he able, he will bring it to pass. I pray and trust that God will not only bless you this day, or not only you, but you and your family this day and the days to come. May God continue to bless you and yours. God bless you.